Yeah, good morning to my fellow drivers in the city of Glasgow. I'm working with Uber and to the drivers working with Uber in the wider world because I have to start extending my greetings to everybody, every driver working with Uber. Yeah, because we all are in a common cause. Yeah, today I'm here to talk about the elephant in the room. There's a big elephant in the room with Uber right now. That's circulating. Uber has just put an info on the promo board on the driver's dashboard, which is the driver's app, regarding some promos that's gonna have effective from the 2nd of September and the 3rd. So far, yeah. Before I get into it, this video I'm gonna make today will include about 4 parts. I'm gonna first talk about, just give you a reminder about Uber promises and the failures, and what's my take about this kind of promo, and I'm gonna tell you what this promo Uber's doing, this promotion, the kind of effect it's gonna have on the shareholder, and the shareholder value and the creditors as well that Uber's having. So how are they gonna benefit from it? And the next thing is I'm gonna give you advice as drivers. I'm gonna give you advice. You don't have to take it, but you can just listen. Yeah, you don't have to take it, but you can just listen. And the final thing is the fourth one. I'm gonna tell you, if Uber had a clear intention, a good intention towards its driving force, which is the drivers. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you a reminder first. This is the reminder. Yeah. Today is kind of like the 1st of September. I'm in a hurry. No, I've told you the date because I'm in a hurry to kind of start saying these things, man. Because I can't wait. I've just finished my shift and I didn't bother sleeping. I came in and I started writing notes because I have to write notes because this thing is serious. And some of these drivers have to listen to this. So I started writing notes right away. Yeah? Yeah. For those of you who don't know, this is the picture of Glasgow at the back of me back in the days. Yeah, so I like sitting here. Yeah, just to kind of like, give my reviews. Yeah. Yeah, and I have a lot of them in my house anyway. So I love Glasgow, beautiful Glasgow. So today is the 1st of September 2019, and it's just gone 05 20 hours. Yeah, yeah, and this is it. So I'll give you a reminder. This is the reminder right now. Yeah, remember, you know, a while back, about a year ago, if I'm not mistaken, when Uber came up with that offer that if you pick up certain percentage of your riders, you're gonna qualify for a discounted fee. Yeah, remember that? Let me just juggle out some memories. You know what I mean? Juggle out some memories. Remember that? Uber came up with that some while ago. How many of you drivers have it? How many of you drivers were qualified for it? And how many of you drivers benefited from it? Yeah, that's a reminder. Yeah, did they deliver? I don't think so. Yeah, and remember, just recently, Uber came up with this favorite driver. If riders can choose you as a favorite, pick you up as a favorite, choose you as a favorite driver, then I think for the next couple of months after they've chosen they're not going to charge you any fee. You know, depending on that rider booking. If that rider books you, they're not going to charge you any fee. Yeah. How many of you do have it? Me, I have it, but I've never received any. And I've got some of my riders that I picked, on several occasions. They said, I didn't see what you told me. Some of them are not seeing it. It's not happening. They did not deliver. All right. And remember the document review guarantee as well. For me right now, I've been waiting for £100 from Uber for over 8 weeks, heading to 10 weeks right now. And I didn't receive it. Every time I call them, they say they have a backlog. How big is a backlog? Nowadays, to do bank transfers is easy. How big is a backlog to process payments? So that tells you that Uber's struggling. Uber's struggling definitely to meet its financial demands and financial obligations. So that's why they're coming up with this. Remember, in my previous videos, I told you this. I said Uber's gonna do everything outside its powers to make sure they control you both mentally and physically. And this is one of them. Yeah, and this is my take. This is my take on the whole promo of this kind of of this kind of promo that Uber's coming up with. It's just not right. It's just not right, if I could put it that way. Yeah, some drivers, when they hear about a reward, I'll give you this when you do this, and they see money, they rush. They will lose all rationality. They don't get any rationality again. No rationale. They don't get any rationale. They don't think, because all that you tell them is money, and the rationale is gone out the window. So now what they see is just the money. They start having stars in their eyes. Yeah, but you have to think. When somebody says, I'm going to give you something based on this, think. That's why we get brains as human beings. But if if you're lazy to think for whatever reason, do you know what I mean? You're destroying yourself and destroying your business. Yeah? And this is it. You lost the rationale completely. Yeah? And remember as well, this promo, for it to work, none of us know what Uber's job allocation strategy is. Uber has no jobs allocation strategy. Uber used to say whoever's closest to the rider gets the job. That's no more the case. It's no more the case. We all know that. We all know that. And it's not like drivers who are closest to the rider are turning down the job. It's Uber who's messing up the system. Or Uber doesn't know that the system is acting that way. It's either they're messing it up, trying to manipulate us as drivers in order to fix how much money we're supposed to have, or they don't understand the system. The system has turned to a complete beast. So we have no control of the job allocation system. So it's not going to work. It's not going to work. They might give you the first job within the demarcated area. Yeah, that time. And then you run out. And then when is the second job going to come? When is the third job going to come? And then you have to run back again into the area to start another cycle again. Within 1 hour, can you have 4 jobs? Not possible. It's not possible. Yeah. And for those of you who don't understand yet, I'll explain the cycle so that you understand the cycle. Because I looked at this yesterday and I said, this is not right. This is not right, because people like me, my thinking is, I have a quick reflex. You give me something, I look at it, I can make up my mind instantly. I can look at, I can see the holistic point of view. I can look at it from a nitty-gritty point of view, deep, holistically. I can look at it. Then I could make up some serious opinions or decisions. That's what I was made to do. I look at something, then I could make up a decision why it's happening. All right. So the job allocation, remember, Uber's manipulating it. It's beyond our control. And this is the right time as well for them to increase that manipulation. Because you're not going to get it. They will do whatever they want and however they want it. You can run. It's just kind of like they're going to distribute the job in such a way that you're going to find it so hard to get more than a $5 in the morning. And they're going to make it so hard, or for those qualifying for a $5, that's the X and the 4 people carriers, or and below, and those who are carrying 5 people upwards, they are getting £6 at that time, and then £1 more, which is £7 in the evening. That's around 4 to 6. Those are the kind of like promo times. The promo times are 8 to 9, if I'm not mistaken, 8 to 9. Yeah, 8 to 9, and then you've got 4 to 6. Yeah, these are the promo times. So, and listen to this again. They want drivers to be visible. They want you to be visible. Because a lot of you are switching off. And that's why when you switch off, they say it just kind of like deactivates your qualification for that promo. They want you to be visible. They want riders to see that, oh, Uber having so many cars right now. Look at them, man. There's a lot of cars. Because a lot of the cars are not visible right now. Because Uber's losing cars. I told you this in a previous video. They're losing cars at a faster pace. You know what I mean? They're losing cars faster than an old man losing his teeth. Trust me. All right? Remember that as well. So they want you to be visible. That's why they're bringing this up. Yeah, so the riders can see you. Remember, I tell you all this, the benefits it will have towards Uber's business and the downside towards your business as well. Yeah? And none of us have any knowledge of the cycle of this promo. Remember, there's a cycle. Remember, they said First job, I'm going to use the morning time. They said first job between 8 and 9. You have to pick the first job within the demarcated area, which runs from the west end and right into the city, and just goes about the southeastern part of the city. Yeah. And they said you have to pick up jobs between that time, 8 and 9, for first job between that time, yeah? And then you imagine you got that job, yeah? And it takes you to the airport. You're outside the demarcation, yeah? And then you come back. Yeah, you can still pick up the second job within the demarcation. Yeah, you're still qualified. But imagine you went straight to kind of like the let's say you went straight to the south side, or let's say Annis Land. You went to Annis Land. And you pick up another job in Annis Land. That's your second run. Yeah? Anytime. They said anytime after 9 o'clock. Yeah? It can go up to kind of like after 9 o'clock, up to probably 4. Let's say up to 4. Yeah? And then you pick up your third job again. From your second job, Annis Land takes you to probably, let's say it takes you to Bearsden. And then you come up to Mary Hill and you pick up your third job. Yeah? You qualified for the fiver. By the time you do all that, an hour is gone. An hour's gone. You only got a fiver. You only got a fiver. So you have to wait for the evening run again. 4 to 6. And then you go back to base. That's the demarcation. To pick up another one to start the cycle again. That's what it is. What happens if, for instance, you pick up your first job within that demarcation? Yeah? Within the demarcation between 8 and 9, and you run it. And then by the time you pick up your second job, you have an emergency. So you have to attend that emergency. You came back around about, 3 o'clock? And you pick up your third job. And by the time you finish your third job, yeah, by the time you finish your second job, you got, it's almost kind of like maybe 3:45. And round about 15:59, a minute to 4, before the second one is going to start. A minute to 4, you got your third run. No, let me say, at 4 o'clock, you got your third run at 4 o'clock. What will happen? Does that mean you're going to qualify for the fiver and then you will start up another run, another bonus? Or does that mean you just qualified for the fiver and you're not going to get the evening run? You have to start after that one finishes. I'm not sure whether you guys understand it. Maybe it's a bit complicated. Let me just rephrase it again so that I know. Let me just rephrase it again. What happens if you get your first run between 8 and 9? You complete that within the demarcated area and you have an emergency before your second run comes. You go to attend that and then you come back around about 3 o'clock. Then you pick up your second run. You still, but your system have to be on. Remember, even when you have an emergency, you can't switch off. You can't switch off. I forget that bit. You can't switch off. And then you're going to still have jobs. And because you're an emergency, you're not going to pick it. So I think this is not going to work. This is confusing. It's not going to work. Think about it. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. When you get one fiver, that's the most you're going to get. And if you treat the riders right, you're going to get more than a fiver from the riders. Believe me, man. Yeah? So it's not going to work. Even me, my brain, it's not working. It's not working. It's not working. It's not going to work. So we don't know the cycle. The cycle is confusing. Whole cycle of it is confusing. It's confusing. It's not going to work. Uber hasn't clarified it to us. Yeah? And it's open-ended as well. It's an open-ended promotion. They didn't tell you when you know when it's going to start, but you don't know when it's going to finish. So Uber, they've done that. They've done that when they started the discounted commission fee. Remember way back? They gave us a date to start it. And when they were finishing it, they didn't inform anybody. They just woke up one day and said it's no more. So when they realize they're losing, they can just cut it off. So this one is open-ended as well. If Uber thinks it's winning and you are losing, they'll keep it as long as possible. If Uber thinks that you're winning and they're losing, they'll chop it off. It's open-ended as well. Yeah, man. All right. And what's the whole point of this demarcation? What's the whole point of this demarcation? Glasgow is Glasgow as a local authority. As a local authority. I'm not talking of Glasgow as a city. Glasgow as a local authority. It's not more than 10 miles radius. Whether you drive east, west, north, and south, 10 miles, anywhere you go, you're outside Glasgow. So why don't you just say within Glasgow, within your licensing area? Why do you want to demarcate it? Because they want to control you. If you want to control people, you give them a playing field. That's why in every game, you have lines. Because you want to control them. Tennis, you have a court. A football, you have a pitch with demarcation. Baseball, the same. You have a line, a demarcation. Because they want to control you. Yeah. And they want to observe how they're controlling you. Whether you're running towards it or whether you're running away from it. That's my take. And there's no clarification of the payment date. When are they going to pay it? When are they going to pay? Okay, if you've done it on Monday, is it going to be in your pay the following week when you're getting that week's pay? If you done it on this Monday, the 2nd, yeah? Will it be in your pay by the 11th, on the 11th? It's not clarified by Uber as well. I think this is a baseball style. This is a baseball adopted style of management, where you as a player, the drivers are the players. You will have to run to the pitch. You have to run at the post for them to throw the ball to you, and then you hit and then you run. That's a baseball style of management that they're using. Trust me. Yeah, man. And Uber finally, this is my take about this thing. And Uber finally, the reason why they're removing this is they're introducing this is to remove the control from you. Remember, Uber gives you the driving terms and conditions, which states they are not in control of the jobs you choose, and they are not in control of where you plot yourself, and they are not in control of when you come on and when you go off. Remember this, they said that. But now with this promo, they put the control like you have to be on. So which means they've taken out that control that you can be on and off anytime you want. Now they put the promo, you have to plot within this demarcated area. So now they've taken that out as if they take it out. You see me, it's getting me crazy, man. And it's getting me mad, honestly. You see the plotting, they've taken that away from you. The power of you plotting yourself where you want, they've taken that away from you. So you have to come where they want. Yeah. For you to qualify for this. So whatever they've given you in the driver's terms and conditions they realize doesn't favor them. Now they're taking it away piece by piece by giving you a bone. I love this word bone, man. Sorry if I hurt anyone. I do apologize sincerely, but that's what it feels like to me. They want to regain control. Remember, I told you that they're going to do everything in my previous videos. They're going to do everything possible to regain control. You are the business. You are powerful, but they want to make you feel powerless. All right? That's my take on the promo. And then I go on to how is it going to benefit the shareholders? Yeah. How is this whole thing going to benefit the shareholders? Because remember, in my previous video, I told you Uber has shareholders and creditors. And the shareholders, they want a return for their investment. And the creditors, they give you money. You pay interest on it sometimes. It depends what kind of arrangement you've got. Sometimes they hold a share as well. It depends what kind of arrangement you've got with them as well. Sometimes they hold a seat in the board as well. What kind of arrangement you've got as them as well. Because they have to protect their investment as well. They have to protect their money. You know. So remember, they have shareholders and creditors. Yeah. And you have to look after them. Because the creditors, if they don't get them what you agreed with them, they can send in administrators and they're going to liquidate your business. Yeah. If they're not getting it, they can send in administrators and they will liquidate your business. Trust me. They are that mean. And the shareholders, they want a return for their money. Yeah, because they give you money for a return. It's not charity. All right. So how will this benefit them? This will show that drivers accumulating a very good time turnover. You see, once you kind of like stay online and everybody's seeing you and you're chasing this promo, shareholders will see, okay, drivers are showing like they've been accumulated number of hours this week. They're showing themselves. Yeah, that will show that, yeah, drivers are out there. Because right now, they're not seeing you. The shareholders are not seeing you. The records are not seeing you. They want to see you, your numbers. Yeah. All right. And the shareholders will see as well that you are running for almost every job, as Uber is God. The drivers are amazing. Uber's amazing. These drivers are running for every job without consideration. They will see that. They will see that. This will all add value to the shareholders, and the creditors will be happy as well, thinking we're going to get our money back. Remember that. And this will also create a favorable indicator on the KPIs of the business, on the KPIs, on the KPIs of the business. For those of you who don't know what KPI is, KPI are key performance indicators that businesses normally use to make decisions or future forecast of the business. They look at the trend, where it used to be and where it is now and where it's heading. So you use key performance indicators that tells you whether your business is struggling or whether your business is being a success. So this will give a favorable indication of the KPIs of the business. Remember that. So the shareholder value goes up. Creditors are happy. Yeah. Every business uses key performance indicators. If you don't use a key performance indicator in your business, then you're failing. And this key performance indicator that Uber's using, that's what's driving the business down. Because Uber doesn't care about the drivers. They want the key performance indicators to show higher numbers. But some have to show lower numbers. Like if you got a debt, the debt has to be down. Debt cannot go up. It's not a good key performance indicator. It has to go down. Some key performance indicator like driver turnover, like driver online time or online turnover. Uber's returns per hour or Uber's turnover per hour. Yeah, all those have to go up. Or turnover per minute, per second. It's up to them how they want to work it. It has to go up. Yeah, or driver average time per week. It has to go up. Yeah. So it's going to give a good indication of the key performance indicators. And this could be used to indicate or determine the future potential of the business. And it can have an adverse effect on the share price. Because Uber's share price, remember, is going down right now, downhill. So if you do all this, the share price of Uber will start going up. You will suffer. Sorry for using the word suffer, because I did say this the other time and somebody get hurt. I don't mean drivers to suffer. You will be abused by Uber for its own interest. The share price will go up once you start doing this. If every driver globally in Glasgow and the wider world start doing this, the share price would go up. This is one strategy to increase the share price right now. And when the share price goes up, you know what happens? Uber value goes up. The value of the company goes up. That's what happens. So what's your value? That's my question. When Uber's value goes up, where's your value? Yeah, where's your value? That's what you have to think. Yeah, after all this happens. So that's my take on the shareholders. In summary, this is just a summary. And now what I'm gonna do, the third one is I'm gonna advise you as drivers. This is my advice. Remember, Uber uses convergence and divergence. That's why it is. Convergence is not where the search. It's not where the search is. Convergence is when it does this. It meets. Yeah, riders meeting at one point. For instance, they're coming from the west end, east end, south side. The north of Glasgow and coming to town. So they're converging. So the likelihood of a search is really slim. Divergence is when they're here and they're doing this. That's where the search is. For those of you who are asking me, do I know when the search comes? I don't know. But if you use the principle of convergence and divergence, then you would know where the search is going to come. Yeah. When riders are meeting at a particular point, they're coming from different places. So the surge is unlikely to come at the rate it's supposed to come. But once they've converged and they're diverging, they're all going, they meet at one place and they're going away, That's where the search is likely to come at that particular place, and Uber cannot withhold it. No matter how they suppress it, eventually it's going to come up. And if they suppress it over a long period, the higher the search is going to be at the end of the day. That's why these days you're seeing a search of 4.7, because we've been suppressing it. We've been suppressing it. Remember, I'm telling you, we've been suppressing it. Yeah, and you don't know that. All right? And remember, I'm telling you as well. Hey, trust me, man. It's crazy, man. And you have to use your 3 E's. Use your 3 E's. Me, I've been using my 3 E's. And if you don't get the third E, you use an I. I explained that. Letter I. The 3 E's, alphabet letter E. Yeah. Yeah, E for echo. And if you don't get the third E, you use the letter I for indigo. So now these are what the E stands for. Your ears. If you wanna be a good taxi driver with Uber, you have to use your first E, your ears. Your second E, your eyes. Yeah, your eyes. Your third E, your experience. And if you don't have the third E, I said you use I, which is the internet. How would you use your ears? You listen to your riders, what they're talking about, what's happening and where they're going and where they come from and what's going to happen. You listen. And then if you cannot take part in the conversation, just listen. Yeah. Use your eyes when you're driving around. Observe what's happening around you. Observe what's happening around you. That will tell you where the convergence is or where the convergences are. Your experience, you know, Glasgow have regular events that occur every year. Yeah. So you should know when, where, and how it's going to happen. You should know. That's your experience. If you don't have that experience, you're a new driver, use the internet. Go on the internet and type what's happening in Glasgow tonight. And Google will bring out a page. And then you can look out at that page. And then you can know where the convergence is going to be. Remember the term convergence and divergence. Run for convergence, don't run for divergence. All right? You go to where the convergence is. That's what I mean. And that convergence will bring a divergence. So the divergence will give you the search. Because they're all at one place and they're going to different places. All right? So you have to, remember, this is my advice. You are your own business. You are your own business as the drivers. Uber has people it employs to run the business. And those are fixed costs. Some of them are on fixed salary. Some of them are on bonuses as well, inclusive of bonuses as well. Yeah. So Uber have to pay that regardless of whatever money it makes. But you are your business. If you run, you make money, you're winning. If you don't make money, you save on the wear and tear of your car and you save on your diesel. And you are most unlikely to be involved in an incident at all. Which will increase your premium, obviously, your insurance premium, because it's not cheap for private hires. So your costs are fixed. Yeah. Diesel, maintenance. Maybe you're saving to buy a new car after the old cars run out. Yeah. And that can be variable, you know, and people cleaning the car. But Uber has fixed costs like office running cost, business running cost, and the piling. So why do you think you need the money more than Uber? Uber needs the money more than you do. So Uber have to be rubbing your back. So don't go thinking you need the money more than Uber. Uber needs the money more than you do. But Uber's going to pretend that they will punish you in order to win you, in order to kind of control you. That's what they will do. But they need the money more than you. Because they have fixed cost. You are your business. You work, you make money, fine. If you go on a holiday for a week, no cost, man. But if Uber goes on a holiday for a week, there's some people sitting in the office that are going to get paid that week or the end of the month. Regardless, that's some business running costs that are supposed to be paid. Some overheads that are supposed to be met. Some admin costs that are supposed to be met. Some maintenance costs that are supposed to be met. Some consultation fees that are supposed to be paid. Some interest that are supposed to be paid to the creditors. Yeah. So they have some cost that are waiting for them, whether they work or not. So they need the money more than you. So they should be robbing your back. You not robbing their back. Let them run for you and you not run for them. That's my advice. That's third point. And my final point is this. If Uber had a genuine interest in all this, has a genuine intention in all this promo and the business and towards you as drivers, this is what Uber would do. I'll make it in short. They will increase the base rate in Glasgow. And I don't know what other places are, but they will increase the base rate in Glasgow from £1.50 to £2.75 at least. And reduce the commission that they charge drivers to 17.5%. They can do that. Because if you make money, that's when they make money. If I make money, you make money. Why are you depriving me of making money? Because you're only depriving yourself. That's how I see it, and that's how I manage my business. I'll come out on the road and say, if I make, you make. If I don't make, you make nothing. I don't owe you nothing. You suffer. Yeah, I'll go home. Yeah, man. And when I come home, I'll fall asleep. But you won't fall asleep because you're looking at your figures and your figures are not going up. They're not meeting what you anticipate. So let them increase the base rate. If riders are willing to pay the such price, then they must be willing to pay an increase in price. And let Uber cut down the fee if they have genuine intentions towards drivers. And they could offer you, second point I'm going to say, they could offer you an incentive on every trip. Every trip you do, they can say, okay, every trip you do, we're going to give you 5 pence. Every trip you do, we're going to give you 10 pence. Or every trip they can put a figure on it. They can do that. That will make drivers start running and not chasing the search because they know there's something attached to it. Or the third one is they could start a random price, a random price on every completed trip. Like when you pick up a ride and all of a sudden something come up with random, or you've won a pen, or you won a holiday, or you've got £10, or you've got £5 voucher to Amazon, or you got £20 voucher for Tesco. Because these vouchers are not costing them £20. The face value is £20, but it's not going to cost them £20 at all. It's not. It's not going to cost them £20 at all, man. Yeah, you can get a face value, but if they're buying in numbers, Amazon can sell them the vouchers probably for £5. Yeah. Let them start giving you random prices on every job. Yeah. You want a star price. I call it a star price. Let them start giving star prices on every job. Yeah, man, that would increase the value because when you think, if I pick up a job, something might come up. Let it just be random. You don't have to win on every job, but let it just be random. Let some few people win something every day. Yeah. And drivers would run. They're not going to chase this search because they might think, if I don't get this search, maybe I'll get something in this random. I might get the jackpot today. Yeah. That's another great inspiring strategy to manage the business. All right? And the next thing is, the fourth thing I'm going to say is the stars that the riders rate you. How many of you normally go to Tesco and said, oh, I have 5 stars, I have 4.98 stars with Uber. Can I use my 9.98 stars to buy the pint of milk? The supermarket is going to think you're crazy. You're losing your sense. Because stars don't put food on your table. Stars don't buy anything in these shops. It's the money and the tips that riders gave you that are putting food on your table. So they could use these stars and turn it into a worthy reward. Like if you're a 5-star driver on every trip, they could turn every star into, for instance, 10 pence. If a rider gives you 5 stars, Uber could turn that to 50 pence because every star up 10 penny, 50 pence. Imagine you got 10 5-star rides a day. Is that not a fiver? If you got anything less than a 5-star, you got nothing. You just remain with your stars. So can Uber do that? Okay, they might say, oh, drivers are going to manipulate that. They're going to start talking to riders to do that. But they have the figures. They know what the trend is. They know how often you get rated a 5-star, and they know how often you get rated badly. And they know the riders. They know the riders' behavior. They know your behavior as well. So if it's not normal, then they can investigate it, that there's something happening. They can do that. Yeah, they got the system to do that. So they don't come with any crap and said, the drivers are gonna kind of manipulate the system and start getting 5 stars on every ride. Because some of us have been working for Uber for a long time. So Uber got our history, a profile of who we are and how we act and how riders do rate us. Yeah. All right. And the next thing, the fifth thing I'm gonna say is, if they did have a genuine intention as well, they would employ experienced drivers within this engage group that Uber's forming, to engage, like the engage team, like team that's engaging with drivers to bridge that gap that Uber has already created between itself and the drivers. They will give experienced drivers that opportunity, give them a job in the Uber office, and tell them, listen, we're employing you, we're going to pay you, but you'll be the engaged team to engage with drivers because you've been experienced enough and we trust in your abilities. Show them the business, show them how the business works and what Uber's doing, and then let them go out there, and regain the driver's trust for Uber. That's what should be, and not employ people who've never sat behind the wheel, who've never used the driver's app, who don't know anything about the application. Even if you ask them, what's the waiting time? How much will I get on a waiting time if I should wait for a rider? They don't even know the answer. What Uber's charging the riders waiting, they don't know the answer. They don't even know when you're going to cancel a job and then be qualified for a cancellation fee. That's my fourth point I'm going to make. And the fifth and final point, if Uber have genuine intentions, they will implement a three-tier management system. A three-tier management system is a management system where you have the next, the non-executive directors, who kind of like represent the shareholders. Yeah, they sit in the board and represent the shareholders. They're not involved in the daily management of the business. They just sit on board meetings and they represent the interests of the shareholders, and they bring in their experience to the board as well. They bring in their experience because most of them would have been former directors, executive directors in other companies. Yeah, so it includes the non-executive directors, and it includes as well the executive directors who are involved in the day-to-day running of the business. The executive directors run the day-to-day running of the business. They set the direction of the business. That's their job. That's what they are paid for. And the third team or group in this three-tier management system should be the drivers, because we are the business. When we all leave, Uber have no business. And we are human beings, we're not machines. We should have a say in the board. If Uber wants to move forward, if Uber wants to progress, we have to sit with the sorry for my stumbling man. We have to sit with the non-executive directors, the executive directors, and us. We have to take a chair on the board. We have to get representative on the board. We have to. Because if this business is our business as well. If Uber wins, we all win. If they lose, we lose. So why can't we just sit on the board to make you win and then we win as well? We tell you what we want and you listen. So that's my final take on it. To have a three-tier management system, which includes the non-executive directors, the executive directors, and the drivers themselves, to sit on the board on every board meeting to run the business of Uber. Until I come your way again, this is what I have to say. And stay blessed and take great care of yourselves. And whatever you have to do with this promo, manage your business and keep doing what you were doing before this promo came. Don't change it. Don't change it for nothing. Look after the riders and they will look after you. Stay blessed, my people, and God be with us. And God bless the lovely city of Glasgow.